Seated, and I want to invite all of our young worshipers up to the front to try to make some sense out of this uplifting reading we just heard. Come on up, everybody. Take a seat on the step. Good morning. So, have you ever wanted something so badly you could hardly stand it? Like your birthday's coming up? How about Christmas is coming? Yes. How about a grown-up finally saying, you can get that pet you've always wanted? Yeah. What we call this wanting, this good wanting, that excitement, we call this longing, right? A big fancy word, longing. We're longing for the pet. We're longing for our birthday. So, in our Bible reading that we just heard, Jesus' friends were admiring this huge, beautiful building, the magnificent temple in Jerusalem. But Jesus told them some very hard things. He said, that beautiful building will be torn down. He talked about scary things like wars and earthquakes. He was telling them that right now the world was going to be hard and things were only going to get more challenging and change is going to be a lot. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's one of those times Jesus is bringing it real. So I don't want you though to, this makes me kind of want to think, okay, I want some happiness now after that, right? That was a lot of hard words. How many of you like singing Christmas songs, right? Yeah, Christmas songs make us a little happier, don't they, right? Maybe a little Christmas right now, this very minute. Well, guess what? In 2 more weeks, the season of Advent is coming. Ho, take a look over here. So we've got one more, we're right now in the last little bit of green. We've got one more Sunday. We're gonna celebrate Reign of Christ Sunday. We'll learn more about that next week, excuse me. Then we'll start right over at the beginning in the blue, which is the season of Advent. Advent is all about a season to practice waiting and patience and that beautiful word of longing, right? We're longing for Jesus to come back. We're longing for the promises of God. It is a time to practice all those sort of things. So, this is the change that Jesus was talking about. The change from the old way to the wonderful new way of God's kingdom. It's really impossible. So here are just a couple things that we can do. All right, first things first, let's get out our imagination. Your job is to be spotters of hope, all right? So pretend like you got binoculars on, right? Let's see your pretend binoculars. Yeah, there we go. And I want you to be spotting for all the signs of hope in the world because Christmas time and Advent is all about a season of hope. And let me tell you something, these guys out here, they're not really good at spotting hope right now. So we really need you to be out spotting for all the hope. So hope spotters, right? In fact, I think I might even see in the far distance, I think I see Mary and Joseph starting to make their way all the way. Yeah, they're starting to make their way. Boy, they got a long journey ahead of us. Do you see them? The second thing I want you to do is start preparing your home for Advent, right? Man, we all heard about Jesus going to the inn in a busy time and it was too busy and they couldn't, there was no room for him at the inn, right? Well, we're gonna make some room for him in our home. So what I want you to do is to create something called a little Advent calendar corner, okay? And in that corner, it can be a little table, it can be a shelf, it can be something in your room, but what I want you to do is get your Advent calendars that you're gonna see in the narthex. You'll start coloring these each week, filling them in, and then they're eventually going to turn into something really cool that your Sunday teachers are going to talk to you more about. You can even put a little fake candle, right? Little fake candle, key on fake candle. Put this to remind you of the light that's coming into the world with Jesus, and even maybe a little piece of greenery from outside because it's really awesome to be reminded of God's cool creation that even though maybe it's a little hidden right now, it's just waiting to come back from the dark times, the dark rainy times, and it will be green again. So these are all things we can do to kind of set up. So every time you pass by your Advent corner, you can say a little prayer, you can take a deep breath. We love taking deep breaths, right? And just say, Jesus, help me make room for peace in my heart, All right, things like that. So you're going to be spotters of hope. You're going to create your little Advent corners. These are all practices that we can do to slow down, take a moment, and be calm. Because even in the midst of all the chaos that's going on around us in our lives, we can stand on the promises that Jesus is still with us. Jesus is coming back into the world and bringing that hope, that change that we so desperately need. Can I get an amen? Amen. All right, let's say a prayer, then I'll send you off to Sunday school. Oh, okay, what do we do? Right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. I'll mirror for you. Slap it together. Pour it down. Take a deep breath. Wiggle those toes. Gracious God, we give you thanks for the season of longing so that we can practice intentional waiting for your promises to come back into the world. And for that we say, amen. All right, go off to Sunday school.